Okay, let's take a little bit of time and talk about everybody's favorite, the VLOOKUP. So what exactly is the VLOOKUP? Well, to better understand the VLOOKUP, why don't we take a moment and play a little game? Here's the way the game's going to be played. You got volunteered to buy lunch for the entire office. Lucky you. So since you got volunteered to pay for lunch, yours truly only wants to get a large sub. So if we take a quick moment to study our menu, here we have our subtypes on the far left-hand side, the prices for the small, medium, and large. And what I'm going to do is call out a subtype, and I would like you to please tell me how much a large sub is going to cost. So let's give it a go. If I would like a large turkey, how much is that going to be? $8.25. Very good. If I'm looking to get a large Italian, how much is that going to be? $8. Very good. If I like to get a large BLT, $8.25. Hopefully by now you understand the way the game is being played. And believe it or not, guess what you all did? You all just did a VLOOKUP. Look at that. Slid it right under the door and you weren't even aware you did one. So let's take a moment and break this down. The V in VLOOKUP stands for vertical. So the way the VLOOKUP works is you look at a chunk of cells and the information is displayed vertically. And then what you do is you start on the far left-hand side trying to find what you want. Once you find what you want, you then count over X number of columns to find the appropriate response. So let's go back to our sub example and take a look at things on a granular level. What happened when a subtype was called out? You subconsciously went to the far left-hand side to find the item. And then what you did is you counted over X number of columns to find the appropriate price. So phrased differently, what you did is you went to column 1 and then you counted over 2, 3, 4 to find the appropriate price. That's the way the VLOOKUP works. All that being said, a really good way to remember and conceptualize the VLOOKUP is analogous to looking up a price on a menu item. So enough goofing around, let's take a look at a more practical example. Here we have a list of data, and you notice that it displays our product type, our inventory, our price, our vendor, and our region for a total of 5 columns. And what we want to do is when we type in a particular product type, we want to have the appropriate vendor returned. So we will obviously use the VLOOKUP to solve this. So we'll go up and click on our FX, do a search for the VLOOKUP. And now right here where it says lookup value, all that really means is what cell do you want to use? So we'll click on this cell right here. Where it says table array, that's just a fancy way of saying what chunk of cells do you want to use. So we'll select our chunk of cells over here. And then after we select our cells, what we have to do is lock them in place so they won't move. And we can do that by pressing our F4 key. You'll notice our dollar signs appear. So that tells us our cells are anchored in place. Where it says column index number, all that means is what column are we getting our response from? In this case, we want the vendor, which happens to live in the 4th column. So we'll type in the number 4. Last part is where it says range lookup. And what we'll do is type in the word false. When we type in the word false, all that means is Excel will only return a response if it finds an exact match in the column that we're looking in. Put another way, if we happen to type in a product type that is not on our list, Excel will get very angry at us and not give a response. And we'll demonstrate that here in a couple moments. For now, just click OK. Let's take it for a test drive to see if it works. If we got it right, when we type in our product type, the appropriate vendor should be returned. And it looks like it's working. Excellent. And right there is your VLOOKUP. Now, just to wrap things up, if we happen to type in a product that does not exist, what will happen is Excel will get angry, as you can see here. Now, outside of demanding people type in data properly, which is most likely not going to happen, the best way to get rid of this ugly error message is to use something called the if error. Now we have a separate module dedicated to how the if error works, so we recommend you check that one out. Else, that'll do it for the VLOOKUP, and we'll see you in the next one.